What's up, y'all? It's your girl Imani Sierra, and as you can tell by the title, this is gonna be part 1 of 3 on how I cut off my toxic friend, y'all. Yeah, so if you haven't already, grab your snacks, grab your drink, grab your blunt, whatever you do, and get ready because it's finna get messy.
She said, bottles, ones, bottles, ones.
Okay, y'all, so the reason I decided to make this like a 3-part series is because it is just a long ass story. And since I'm new to YouTube, I didn't want to overwhelm y'all with no long ass story like fresh out the gate. So I decided to break it down into 3 parts. This first part that I'm about to tell y'all today, this is just gonna basically be about how I met my toxic friend, and some red flags that I had seen like at the very beginning. And I do have to like give y'all some backstory on how we even came across paths. So that's gonna be like basically this first half of the story. So yeah, y'all, basically I met Nicole through my best friend, and my best friend, we're gonna go ahead and call her Chloe. Throughout probably the 8th grade to like my senior year in high school, me and Chloe were best fucking friends, y'all. We spent every waking day together. Our parents were cool. Like, we were tied at the hip. Like, that was my bitch. Like, that was my person. That was my best friend. So basically, I decided one Friday that I was gonna go stay with Chloe, my best friend, for the weekend. And I also brought along my girl cousin, and we're gonna call her JT. And she was around often. Like, we had a little gang or whatever. She was a part of that, of course. And then my other close friend, we're gonna call her Bree. She was with us as well. And like I said, we had a little gang. We had formed a little gang, and we went everywhere together, y'all. We really did. Like, we were all tied at the hip. So Friday, whatever comes, and me, JT, and Bree, we all go to Chloe's house. Now, Chloe, like, she had the spot. Like, her mama was super fucking cool. That lady is an angel. Like, I love Chloe's mama to death. Like, she really is the shit. Like, so anyway, it was like, we're gonna go over here. We're gonna go out. It was Friday night, teen clubs popping, like, we're going out. So we all 3 get over there or whatever. We chilling, just laying around, and I'm noticing like Chloe, she like texting, just going away. And she would keep looking up, like kind of peeking out the window, and then she would text again, toot, just texting away, y'all. So I'm like, girl, like, who the fuck is you texting? Like, you got a nigga pulling up or something? Like, what's going on? And she was like, no, my cousin, Nicole, she's gonna come over today. Y'all, I'm not like, especially back then, I wasn't interested in getting to know nobody. Like, no, like, we had a little gang set. Like, I was not, y'all. I was not interested. I'm not gonna lie. Neither was Bree. Bree was just like me. Like, she wasn't into all that friendly shit, like trying to incorporate other members of the group, especially on a night like that we had already had planned. Like, this night was already planned out. We know we're going out. We know who we're going to see after that. Like, the whole 9. Like, you just rumbling the feathers of the plan at this point. So, like, what you doing? So me and Bree kind of like, you know what I'm saying? And JT, she's super nice. So she was just like,
yeah, just thought, like, let's see what she about first. Like, let's at least try to get to know her.
So I'm gonna say, y'all, about an hour and a half later, I hear a knock on the door. I'm guessing Chloe's mama let her in, and I hear some feet coming up the steps and into Chloe's room, and lo and behold, here's Nicole. Like I said, y'all, I'm not too thrilled to get to know Nicole today. I was just like not in the mood that day, like, to get to know no new friends. Like, I just wasn't interested. More of the story. And like I said, neither was Bree, but you know, JT,
hey, my name's JT, this is Imani, this is Bree.
Like, what's up? Like, you know. So Bree ended up realizing that she knows Nicole, and they go to school together. So now it's just kind of me, like, that's not buying into it, because they having like little light conversation or whatever, because like I said, these folks already know each other. So, and JT, she friendly as fuck, and then that's Chloe cousin. So it's like, I'm the only one like that's not giving welcome to the gang, because it was not that. It wasn't giving that. It's not welcome to the gang, Miss Mama. It's like, no, like, no. Anyway, so JT introducing herself or whatever. We all just sitting around kind of kikiing. And by this time, y'all, we got like an hour to get dressed before we go to this club. So basically, we started getting dressed, and I noticed like when Nicole first came in that Mama was not dressed. Like, not to go to no club. Like, she wasn't dressed. So JT, being like the nice person she is, she was like,
Hey, so friend, like, what you thinking you gonna wear? Like, you wearing that? Like, are you gonna wear those pants? You gonna wear pants like with that sweater? Like, are you in a band or something? Cause I'm not getting to get up.
like, she just like basically like, baby, you gotta change clothes. So Nicole, she was real like timid at this point and kind of like, yeah, I was just gonna wear this. Yeah, like I got some boots and I was just gonna wear that. And basically JT was like, nah, baby. So like JT pulled out like this little tennis skirt, because that's what was popping at the time, y'all. It's funny because stuff like that made full circles, because now they back in style. But yeah, like, she handed her like this tennis skirt and like this little crop top, and she was like, you know, just put this on with your boots, because like the type of club we're going to, like, you know, you want to be dressed appropriately or whatever. So Nicole, she changes clothes or whatever, and I'm just looking like, y'all, like, I just did not want to be bothered with Miss Mama's. Like, I just wasn't feeling Nicole. Like, I wasn't. So we all pile up in Chloe's car and we head to the club. Now, fun fact, before we would go to the club anytime, I had an uncle that would be posted up at this specific gas station. And before you ask, yes, he was, and he still is. What would happen was we would hand him a few extra dollars plus our money, and he would go in there and get our Four Locos, like a fair trade. So we stopped at our gas station per usual, sent my uncle in there to get all of our Four Locos. He come back out with the Four Locos, and we on our way to the club. So on our way to the club, like, we kind of sipping on these Four Locos, but the club was so close, like, we couldn't get finished by the time like we got there. So we get there and like we all giving each other that look, because like we know what the fuck time it is. Like, we're gonna hop out this car, we're gonna all lock arms, and we're gonna chug the fucking rest of this Four Loko before we get in there. So by the time we get in there, it's gonna hit. Another fun fact, the father of Chloe's child, he and her were still dating at this point, and we were all close with him and all his friends, and still are, like, right now, like right in the present. And he is a promoter, like a club promoter, and he actually works with me now at the club that I bartend at. Anyway, we didn't have to wait in no fucking lines. So basically, from the time we hop out the car to the time we like heading towards the door, these Four Locos gotta be gone. And we know that. So we would hop out, chug these bitches before we walked in. So y'all, I said that to say this. I'm basically trying to see how Nicole gonna take the pressure. Like, are you built for this? Like, are you built to be in the game? Because you giving me real shy, timid vibes. Like, we were not that, y'all. Like, we would go out and like, either we had hoodlums in our group who would like rap every fucking rap song and like throw up gang signs, or we had ratchets that would hop on the table and dance. Like, you had to be one. You couldn't be no wallflower. You was either one or the other. Me, I was kind of like a mixture of both. But yeah, so I'm watching her and she chugged that bitch down. And I'm like, okay, friend, like, okay. Let me just, I'm still not sold, but let's see. So anyway, we walk in the club or whatever. Of course, it's a Friday night at a teen club. It's lit, so we having a good time. And I'm vibing or whatever, but the whole time I'm still checking on Nicole. Like, I'm trying to see, is Nicole too drunk? A. B, can she dance? Like, can she even hang? Like, does she know how to break a nigga? Like, all of that, like, what you doing over there? And C, who does she know? Like, do you know anybody? Like, are you just, what you coming around at this point for, y'all? what I'm trying to figure out is what made you come around at this stage, like in our life, y'all, because I had been knowing Chloe for about 4 years now, and me and her were best friends, and I never heard about you, mamas. Like, she never mentioned your name until right this day. So it was like, what are your motives? Like, what made you decide this week, like, I'm gonna go hang with Chloe and her friends? Because they were, of course, indeed cousins, but it was strictly that. Like, it wasn't like me and JT where they were cousins, but they also were friends and they hung out all the time. Like, it was just super weird for me. Like, it was mad weird. So anyway, we in the club or whatever, like, we having a good time, we vibing, we chilling, and I'm still looking at Nicole, trying to make sure she can hang. And for the most part, she was hanging, y'all. So we get back in the car, of course, y'all. We some drunk fucking teenagers off of Fort Local. We all loud, we all yelling, laughing, screaming, crying, whatever. So we get back to the house. Once we get back to the house, at that point, I still wasn't really sold on Nicole, but I knew that she had basically sold everybody else, if y'all get what I'm saying. Like, I knew at that point, like, okay, this bitch finna be around Imani. They had basically initiated her into the mob, y'all. So, like, I basically had to just go ahead and be like, okay, she's here. Let me at least try to get to know the bitch, because she's gonna be around. So from that day forward, y'all, she was around every weekend. All of us in our little group, we all went to different high schools, and we were all different ages, but like on the weekends, we were like we, you know, we was outside. Like, those were my friends, like, we were close. So like I said, every weekend after that, she was with us. Like, I guess she just took a liking to the group and she decided to come around, which was fine. We really still never got that close. It was just like, she was a part of the group. And at this point, y'all, it had went to like, within 6 months, it had went to like 6 of us going out on the weekends to like 12 of us, because now everybody's bringing in like extra friends. Like, so she bringing in her friend, who bring in her friend, who bring in her friend. And actually, she was how I met my future best friend that I'll have another story time on. Like, it was just crazy. So it was like so many of us all together. I think there was like a group of 20 of us, and it was just like smaller groups within those groups. It was crazy, but like, we would all be together. We'll all be together, and what a mess that was. But we had some good times too. But like, whew. So like I said, on the weekends, it would be like 12, 13 of us at the least, because we've integrated all these other friends and these other groups in. But we're all very much cool. The thing with that was, everybody had their person in that group. It wasn't like I was going over everybody's house or nothing like that. It was just like they're around. Like, we wasn't all best friends. We was all like good associates, good acquaintances, good homegirls. But like, our somebody's best friend was connected. Like, it was a big web of messy shit, basically. So months go by or whatever, and like I said, the gang, we're expanding, which ain't bad. You know, I'm not gonna complain about that. Like, some shit go down, you know, ain't nobody trying to fight 12, 13 folks.
Beat a bitch up, yup. Just beat a hoe up, yup.
They not gonna do it. So we're expanding or whatever, and at this point, we're coming to like the end of my junior year, and I just decide, just kind of like, after being around her for all these months and months and months, it was just like, let me get to know this girl like on a personal level, because despite everybody being together all the time, she's around even more often than that, because she's Chloe's cousin. So I want to say, y'all, our initial meetup was in August. By Easter, we all this stuff had happened, like the integrated friends and the big group and all of that. And this was about the point that I decided, let me get to know this girl on another level. So basically, Easter rolls around and Chloe calls, and like I said, me and Chloe, we spent every holiday together. So Chloe calls and she's like, hey, like, do you want to go eat at my aunt's house for Easter? And I'm like, yeah, cool. So Her and her mom come get me from my house or whatever, and of course I see Nicole. So I'm like, okay, this would be the perfect time to just feel her out. I'm sure like her mom's gonna be there, like if she got any siblings or anything like that. So I'll get to know everybody then. So we get to her aunt's house or whatever. We all chilling around. Basically, for the most part, Chloe's family knew me because I had been around since we were kids, like in middle school kids. So like at this point, I'm super comfortable around everybody. But who I did not meet or have not yet met was Nicole's mom. So at this point, I'm like, let me see, like, let's just see what her mama's about. So I'm just like kind of standing around, and Nicole's mom, she approaches Nicole and Chloe, and she's just talking or whatever. And I was like, hey, you know, like I'm super quirky like that. I'll be like, hey, like, I'm Nicole's new friend, Imani, nice to meet you or whatever. So I was just like that, and she like was not feeling me off rip. Like, Nicole mama did not like me. Tell y'all, Nicole mama did not like me. Nicole mama did not like me, y'all. And it never got better. I just want to let y'all know, like, it never got better. So I kind of blew it off because I'm like, okay, this a lady. Like, I just want to introduce myself, but it's cool. Like, me and Nicole not even that cool yet. So like, it is what it is. But like, she like didn't really even say hello back or nothing. It was super fucking weird, y'all. Like, and I'm like, did I do something to her? Like, what the fuck is Nicole telling her mama? Like, are you speaking on me to your mama? Like, before I don't know. It was just weird. Like, I didn't understand like what the animosity was, but I let it go. So after that, we still not super close, but like, we get in there now. Like, I'm opening up my heart, y'all. I'm giving her a chance. By this time we had exchanged numbers, and I still wasn't like staying at her house or nothing like that, but like we had exchanged numbers, and we were making plans to do stuff like without the other girls at this point. So the first plan that we make is to go out, just me, her, and JT, my cousin, like without the other girls. She comes and stays the night with me, and like everything was smooth for the most part. I would notice like when I went out with just Nicole, like she would be on like some shit where it depends who came around, like how she would act towards me, like especially like if a nigga came around. And I just really didn't feel like that was P.
You ain't P, Alex.
Cause it's like, it's not, but like I was just like, okay, like this must be a nigga she like she trying to impress that nigga, like go ahead. But I did not like that shit, y'all. It was just like her whole personality, like it was switched, and it was so fucking weird to me. But I like I said, I never really paid attention to it, like, because it was just like, okay, she trying to get a nigga, like she trying to bag this nigga. I'm just let her, you know, do what she do. But it was a little odd, y'all. Like, but, and I know y'all like, Imani, like, what the fuck? That's a super red flag. Like, but it was just like, I just kept overlooking shit because it wasn't that deep at this point to me. Like, we still hadn't got that close. We were working on our relationship, but we still wasn't that cool. So y'all, that is the first time like I actually spent time with her alone. And after that, I was like, okay, well, I can, like, you know, we had a good time. So like, I'm like, okay, we could do this more often. Like, it's nothing, like, okay. So I want to say this was the summertime, because I told y'all this little incident with her mama happened in April or March, whenever Easter was. So the summertime comes around or whatever, and I had a friend who was also Chloe's niece. I know, weird shit, y'all. Who was also JT's friend, who was also Nicole's cousin. Y'all might have to rewind that back to make sense of it. I know some Alabama shit, y'all. But anyway, that was my friend, more or less. I had met her through Chloe, of course, because that was Chloe's niece, but like we were close. However, she stayed a good ways away from everybody else. I want to say it was like a 45-minute drive, but we had decided one summer to go spend maybe a week or so with with her, we'll just go ahead and call her, let's see, we'll call her BB. Yep. So we decided we're gonna go stay with BB and Chloe's sister, who was BB's mom, for a couple weeks. We didn't end up staying that long, but we had it in our head like we're gonna stay down here a minute. So of course, Chloe's sister, like, she's younger. BB just happened to be a product of that, but she was a lot younger than the rest of our parents, so she let a lot of shit slide too. Like, it was a lot of shit, certain shit that she would let us do, like, that we know we couldn't get away with nowhere else. So we go out there or whatever, and the nighttime comes, and Chloe's like, I want to see my boyfriend, which is now her baby daddy, like, you know, 12 years later. But at the time, that was her boyfriend and a good friend of mine, and now like my brother. So she called him or whatever. He like, I'm coming, like, who you want me to bring? And we like whispering names, like, tell him to bring such and such, tell him to bring your light skin friend. You know, like, you know how shit is. And he was real cool with one of my exes, but he was also just now like getting to know like another one of my now exes, but the guy was like kind of liking at the time or whatever. So they all come over or whatever, and it was clear, like, shit was clear, y'all. Like, hey, like, that's mine. Like, I told him to bring him out here for me, like, off limits. Like, I'm gonna talk to him. So that whole night, like, we flirting or whatever, we exchanging numbers, we just chilling, like, kind of booed up, everybody booed up or whatever. And it's like Nicole's mood, like, she just was not feeling the whole setup. Like, she wasn't feeling it. And the way she was talking to the guy that I was trying to talk to was kind of like,
Oh, so that's what type of time we on? Like, you really gonna do that? Like, for real?
and we'll go ahead and give him a name. We're just gonna call him Weirdo, because that's what the fuck he was, and probably still is. He was a weirdo. But she was like,
So weirdo, this what we doing? You can't speak? So weirdo, what's going on? So weirdo.
and I was like, I asked Chloe, I'm like, before I even pursue this, like, did Nicole and Weirdo have something going on? Like, what's up? Like, you know, like, she talking to him like they got history or something, like, what's up? And she was like, Chloe was just like, no, like, not that I know of, I don't think so. She was like, no, I'm not. I highly doubt it. Like, she would have told me some shit like that. I don't think they have anything going on. Like, I think she just being funny. So y'all let it slide. I let that whole night slide, and they stayed with us a couple of days. And you know, after those couple of days was up, it was pretty much like confirmed, like, that we now dating. Like, after that, like, clearly we fucking dating. Like, we done spent 4 or 5 days together before we actually went back home. So we go home or whatever. At this point, me and Weirdo dating. And me and Weirdo date. And we date for a while, y'all. Like, some months. Like, we were like maybe almost a year into our relationship when shit started going left. Which I'm not gonna get into full detail about like what exactly went left, because I have story times on those incidents. But it was this one particular day where some shit had went left with me and Weirdo, because like I said, we're months and months in now, like we're almost at a year. So we arguing or whatever, and he yells out, and Nicole not your motherfucking friend. Like, he yells it loud. He was like,
and Nicole not your motherfucking friend either. You need to watch who the fuck you call a friend. She a fake ass bitch.
That's weird.
one thing my mama always told me is a nigga, he gon' know. Like, he see a lot of shit that we don't. So if a nigga say that's not your friend, it's probably not your friend. I ignored it though. I'm like, what the fuck is you talking about? Like, do you have something to tell me? Like, what are you talking about? And like, he didn't answer. He was just like
I said, watch your motherfucking friends, because she's not one of them. Trust me when I say that, I know what I'm talking about.
So I'm like, okay, so whatever happened with me and Weirdo, like I said, that's for another story time. But just know, like, I end up leaving. I was at his house, I end up leaving. So I leave, hop in my car, and as I'm driving, I'm calling Nicole like, hey, is there something like you need to let me know about you and fucking Weirdo? Because I was over here, I just got into it with Weirdo. I just caught him doing whatever the fuck he was doing, and he talking about I need to, you know, ask you what happened on such and such night like 4 or 5 months ago. And she just bust out laughing. What's funny, mamas? Like, is that funny? I don't think that's funny. Like, is that funny? No. So I'm like, kind of like, what the fuck is funny? Like, I don't see nothing funny. And she just all like,
girl, like, he just be talking off the side of his neck, like nothing going on, but
child, it's not what she said, it was how she said it. Like,
you know how my nigga is, like, he crazy, girl.
Like, it was so weird. She was just like,
girl, that man is so crazy. Like, I cannot believe he said that. Girl, let me call you back.
huh? Okay, so I let it slide, y'all, once again, but I'm gonna get to the bottom of it. So y'all, for like the next week, I'm trying to figure out like what the fuck they talking about. Shit just wasn't adding up for me, y'all. So I called Chloe and I'm asking Chloe, and I said, bitch, don't lie to me. Like, you're my best friend. Like, don't lie. Like, what the fuck happened? And y'all, she came out and told me one day, which is her baby father's now, we're gonna call him, we'll just call him Junior. So she was like, one day, Junior and Weirdo, they came to the house. He wanted you to come, but of course I had like got in trouble or something that weekend, y'all, so I couldn't go over there, but I was in contact with Weirdo the whole time he was there. So she just was kind of like, you remember, you know, when y'all was on the phone and he was over here? Well, Nicole was over here too. And she was like, me and Junior, like, we were kind of like doing our own thing. We were in my room, and they weren't in there. Basically, they was not in there with us. Like, we don't know where they had went or what they did, but she said that Weirdo says that Nicole tried to, and Nicole says that Weirdo tried to fuck him, but we don't know which is true. Like, we're not sure. Like, but let Junior tell it. Junior think they went on ahead and smashed. Huh? Okay, so y'all, basically this was like the pivot. Is that the right word? Pivot or plummet? Yeah, this was the downfall. Like, a lot of shit after this it just kept trickling down. Like, a lot of shit started going wrong after this for me and Nicole's friendship. It did last way longer after that, but this is where like I probably should have cut her off. But I didn't. I don't know why, y'all. Like, we just, you know what I'm saying, we were close. Like, and it took me a while to even get warmed up to her, and I'm like, damn, like, really, bitch? Like, I was so confused, y'all. I was so confused and shocked. I was just kind of like, Junior always, still to this day, he's out fucking lasted the test of time. Like, he's outlasted every fake friend and every fuck boy like I've ever dealt with. Like, that's my brother, and he always looked out. So when I got Junior alone, like maybe the day after I had talked to Chloe or whatever, I had pulled up to his house, and he told me like that he is very sure, like almost 100% sure, like that they had sex. It just, I was just distraught. Like, y'all, I didn't know what to do. Like, I didn't know what to say. It just was super fucking weird. Like, because I couldn't believe like some shit like that would happen to me. I always see it happen with other people, but like, to me, you're gonna do me like that? Really? Like, so like I said, y'all, like, that was like the first mistake I made, was taking Weirdo back after that, and like taking Nicole back after that, because I should have dropped both of their ass like a bad habit right then and there, but I did not. I did not. I'm gonna leave like the story right here because like I said, this is a 3-part series and it is a longer story. That was just kind of like the backstory because all of these characters, they're gonna come into play again. So I had to kind of, you know, build up all the characters and also like just to let y'all know how I met Nicole in the first place, y'all. And how she kind of fucked me over already. Like, y'all, we not even an hour into the story and a girl that already fucked me over. So y'all know, if I'm telling y'all, you know, this is in the first year and a half of me and Nicole being close, and we didn't fall out until about 5 years ago, that it's a lot of other bullshit she did. So yeah, y'all, that is the first half of the story of me cutting off my toxic friend. It does get worse from here. Part 2 and 3 coming out really soon. Hopefully I can get them all shot tonight, y'all. That is what I am shooting for, but we'll see. But in the meantime, y'all, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff to let me know y'all feeling and buying what I'm selling, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I'm new and I'm just now getting started out, and I'm just trying to, you know, feel out and see what y'all like and don't like. And I'm gonna keep dropping videos until everybody out there that's watching my shit got something they can enjoy. So yeah, y'all, like I said, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time.